Hi, welcome to Dwayne's Guitar Lessons. I'm instructor Dwayne Jenkins. In today's video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about how to play lead guitar. Talk a little bit more out of this book right here, Lead Guitar Wizardry, a book I wrote on how to play lead guitar. This is volume 1, working on volume 2. And in the last few videos, we talked about a couple things. Last video we talked about your major scale, how to find that out of your chromatic scale, which is very important to know that stuff, so I'd highly recommend that you watch that if you haven't seen it. And we also talked in the lesson before that about creating some lead guitar riffs to play over progressions in your 12-bar blues, which is a great place to start when it comes to lead guitar playing, okay? And I'll leave some video links to those videos down below if you haven't seen those. But today what we're going to talk about, as I was originally going to go through all these lessons, but there's a lot of lessons in this book, so I'm just going to go through a few of them. The ones I think are really, really important. They're all important, but you know what I'm saying. I think what I'm going to do is stick, as far as doing all the lessons, I think I'm going to put that into my video course. I'm going to make a video course this year for the book, and then that way you have the book and the video course, online course for that. But basically what we're going to do is we went through lesson 2, 12-bar progression. We went through our lesson 3 in our major scale formula and intervals. And now let's see, lesson 4 is guitarists play over rhythms. We kind of went over that a little bit already, so we're going to kind of bypass that for right now. But what we're going to work on is something that's really important, is alternate picking, okay? In order to be able to play your guitar fast, to play fast guitar licks, you need to master alternate picking. It's very, very important. So that's what today's lesson is going to be about, okay? So if that's something you're interested in, keep watching, and we'll learn about how to play faster on the guitar and tear it up on those guitar licks, all right? Okay, now like I said, the main thing when it comes to playing fast guitar licks is you got to master your alternate picking, okay? When you just pick down like this, you can only really do so much. You can only play so fast. That's just all there is to it, okay? What you have to do is master picking up and down, okay? And it's all in the wrist. It's not in your whole arm, it's just in your wrist, okay? If you watch what I'm doing, is this what I learned, is to go down on your string, go up on the next one. Down, up, down, up. Then down, up, down, up, down, up. Now you can see what I'm doing, okay? Now, what I also learned to do when I was taking lessons and learning out of books and stuff is to do finger exercises, okay, and pick each note individually up and down. Like the first note, down, second note, up, third note, down, first, well, this one's a little hard to get to, down, okay, so down, up, down, up. So I'm alternating on each individual string. So let's just say we do 3 notes per string for right now, okay? Let's see, I'm right here at the 15th fret. This is a good place to do it because the frets are pretty close together. So we could do 15, 16, 17. So I went down on 15, up on 16, down on 17. Then I went back up, down, down. Then up on 15, down on 16, up on 17. Then the next string is back to down, up, down. Next string up, down, down, okay? Now this doesn't come overnight, but if you work at it, you'll get it, okay? Once again, down, up, 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 okay? And I've been doing this a long time, for many, many years, so I can do it pretty quick. But just, you don't need to do it fast, okay? You don't even need to have like distortion on your amp, okay? I would recommend just playing clean while you get it to begin with, okay? Just play clean. And as you can see, my hand isn't really moving much. It's just my wrist, okay? Now if you want to add the pinky in there, which I would highly recommend because I've talked about this, get that pinky going. It's very important. Especially in like a lot of guitars, that pinky is used. Okay, so if you do it there, let's say we start at the 14th fret, then we go down, up, down, up. Then your next string is going to be down again. Down, up, 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 down, up. And then go back starting with your pinky. Okay? This is just something I would highly recommend you work on just every day. Start off slow. This is how I did it. I just start off real slow, you know. Try to keep your fingers close to the fretboard if you can. And then eventually, as time, you know, after, you know, so many hours of doing it, you know, then you'll be able to do. Now let's say you do go through that major scale that we talked about in the last lesson. Okay, if we played it here at the 15th fret, it would be our G major scale. And we do that in alternate picking. So we go, the first note would be down, second one would be up, next note would be down. So you just alter each note. I can do some really cool stuff with just those two techniques, that major scale and your alternate picking, okay? That's all in your picking hand. A lot of times with playing guitar, it's what this hand is doing that's creating the magic. A lot of times when we watch videos, we're watching this hand. You know, this hand's doing some good stuff, but this hand is what's creating a lot of the magic. Think of guitar musicians as being like magicians, okay? A lot of times magicians, they're showing you something with this hand, and the magic is actually happening with this one back here as they're doing something back here with this one, okay? Musicians are very much the same way. You know, you're you know, catching people's attention with this hand, but in reality the magic is being happened with this one. So be sure to work on that. Work on that just every day. If you know, I used to work on that every day because I knew that's what I wanted to do, was play the guitar solos. So I would work on that alternate picking, you know. And like I said, just start off with clean. Just, you don't have to be all distorted and everything. Start on a clean sound. Make sure you get good clean notes, you know. Down, up, down. Maybe even do it with just 3 fingers, because then it alters the string. So it's going to be down, up, down, and then, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, down, up, down, then up, down, 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 up. Okay? And go back as well. Be able to do that just really well, okay? I know I make it look very easy because I've been doing it for, you know, decades, but when I first started, it was hard. It just down, up, down, up, down, up. You know, I just did that for every day. The minute I pick up my guitar, and I just did that every day, you know. And notice how my wrist isn't moving, my hand's not, my whole arm's not moving, just kind of my wrist. And sometimes it helps too if you take your pinky and kind of rest it on the body of the guitar a little bit. Kind of keeps your hand a little bit stable. Sometimes it helps. With me, you know, everybody's a little different, so it might be different from you. But just experiment. If you do this every day for, say, 5-10 minutes a day, I guarantee you're going to discover what works for you. And you're going to start off slow, you know, like I did. But eventually you're going to be... I like that wearing bar. You can do some really cool stuff with it. Alright, so there we go for our lesson on alternate picking. Alright, so there we have it. A quick lesson on alternate picking. Like I said, be sure to just kind of work on that. It's with this picking hand. You got to have a good picking hand if you're going to be a lead guitar player. It's very, very important. You got to have a good fretboard hand too, but picking hand, it's very, very important, okay? Very important to be able to get that alternate picking down, because, you know, you can't play those fast, you know, licks without it. You just can't, okay? So if you never master alternate picking, you'll never be able to play those fast licks. It just won't happen. I guarantee it, okay? So make sure that you work on that, all right? So here we are, basically through our first 5 lessons. This lesson also talks about the octaves. This is something that we discussed in the last video, so I kind of decided to not have this in this video. It's basically just playing the A major scale into 2 octaves, and if you don't know that, I would highly recommend checking out that video. Like I said, I'll leave a link below for that. Okay, so in this first section of the book, okay, section 1, we went through about 5 lessons, okay. Right now what we should know is basic guitar riffs and scales, should know that. Developing dexterity and eye-hand coordination is what we're working on here, okay. The 12-bar chord progression, which is, you should know that, okay, because that's a good place to start with playing lead guitar, and there's a lot of good songs that are written with that progression, and once you get it down, you'll come familiar with it, you'll see what I'm talking about, okay. Our major scale formula, which we talked about, plus our chromatic scale. Okay, our chromatic scale, everything comes out of that, so be sure you understand that, okay? If you didn't see the video, I highly recommend checking it out, okay? And down and alternate picking, so like I said, you have down picking. Down picking is good, okay? Playing certain riffs with down picking. But if you want to play fast, you've got to get the alternate picking down. Very, very important, okay? And our A major scale into octaves, which if we move it around the fretboard, we can make it into any scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever we want, okay? We just got to know that pattern. And like I said before in the last video, think patterns. If you think patterns on guitar, it's going to be a lot easier to learn, okay? So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to visit my website at dwaynesguitarlessons.com. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And join my guitar club, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that'll be coming through your email. And just keep watching this series, because we're going to be we're into the second module, which is scales and personality licks, and that's what we're going to be looking at next time. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Practice your alternate picking, get that down, and I will see you at our next lesson. Take care.